So I knew Justin was going to be here, and I wanted to find a something from your home, the most interesting city in the world, New Orleans, Louisiana, and I found a small story that then led me to something larger that I think would be a lot of fun. And this is one of those that sounds like bullshit, but they actually wrote this up in the New York Times, so this actually did happen. This is Austin Harvey writing for All That's Interesting, ATI. So in August 1985, the body of Jerome Moody was found at the bottom of the deep end of a swimming pool. As UPI reported at the time, Moody's tragic death was marred by the bitter irony when the full context of his demise was revealed. Moody had been one of 200 guests at a party thrown by the New Orleans Recreation Department, and the reason for this party was to celebrate the end of the first summer season in memory with no drownings.
Momentous occasion.
Roughly half of the party guests in attendance were lifeguards, and 4 of them were on duty during the festivities. Moody was not a lifeguard, but he was fully clothed and somehow ended up jumping into the pool undetected. And so this is probably just somebody's like drunk uncle was at the thing. It's like cannonball, and nobody noticed.
Right. And it was like, oh, what's that sound? Oh, it's the wind. Oh, okay.
Quote, the lifeguards were really upset. It's a real tragedy, said director Madeline Richard.
Upset.
So this is
it's the days without factory accident, setting it back to 0.
Right. It's like, damn it, Jerome, you messed it up for all of us now.
200 lifeguards there and nobody.
Wow. You were just supposed to die that day. You know?
Quote, this was the first annual party in memory where they could celebrate a trouble-free season. That's why they were having this party. Like, you guys did such a great job noticing all the people that would have died this summer. We'd been talking about it. It was the first season without a single drowning incident. I like that they're all talking about it.
Right.
It's like...
I'm talking about the man who died. It's like, we had a really successful race.
Right. Well, and even if it's before they noticed that the guy that died, it's just funny. You'd go to a lifeguard party and they would all just be eating little sandwiches and being like, it's crazy no one died.
I mean, they were getting fucked up. Let's be honest.
Definitely.
They were eating little sandwiches.
Oh, you can have sandwiches and cognac or whatever people drink at parties.
They were snorting cocaine.
They were
And they are definitely on.
They were doing heroin. It was fun.
This is New Orleans.
They were shooting each other up with heroin.
This is New Orleans, 1985. So
they own some wild shit.
Definitely coke for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Massive piles.
Right? Some hurricanes, some coke, some heroin, and it's like, hey,
so Moody's body wasn't discovered until the party was over, when 4 on-duty lifeguards were cleaning the pool. And though they
were on duty?
Yeah, there were 4 lifeguards on duty and then 200 off-duty lifeguards at this pool.
Like someone in like a tux like went in there and was like, you can have a little cake.
Hey,
no one's gonna drown today.
Yeah. Or someone is just looking at him and it's like, well, this suit is Armani. I'm not
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like if a fire broke out at a fireman's ball. You're like, I just got this fucking suit clean.
One was like, Gladys, she just finally got off of work, and I can't take the suit back until Monday. Like, I don't. We'll figure it out.
I'm on all this 1984 cocaine. I can't fucking.
They cleaned out the pool, and though they attempted to revive him, their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. The autopsy confirmed that Jerome Moody died from drowning. So
Smokey just sounds like a Mark Twain book that just came to life.
It's one of those where, like, when I was reading it, it's one of those like almost like an urban legend.
Right.
And then I go back and I got newspapers.com, clicking up New York Times right there. It's like, guy drowns at lifeguard party.
There's currently a thing that happened in New Orleans where there was this, I forgot his name, but there was this stray dog that was evading the dog people for months, and they finally caught him. And in New Orleans was kind of referred to him as a Zorro stray dogs because he was a small dog that no one could be able to catch. And then he finally got caught. There's several subreddit posts like, yo, free my dog, y'all.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, he deserves to be on the street. And it's
The
like,
dogs of hazard.
Right.
Let them Duke boys get away.
No one's seen that dog in 40 years.
That's fucking awesome. So I found like this particular write-up. As I said, Austin Harvey writing for All That's Interesting. This is part of a larger article that's just ironic deaths. And some of these are 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife, ironic, and then some of them are actually real irony, but I figured I would share the rest of these with you because they're all pretty fun.
I think irony on death is kind of subjective, right?
I mean, drowning at a lifeguard party, that's close. Yeah.
Hey, I get it. They're partying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, no one even knew. No one even knew that guy. That was the guy. They were like, "Who the fuck is this guy? How did he show?" I guess he knows someone else. You know.
You know, someone the next day was like, "So I guess this whole year doesn't mean shit, huh?" Yeah, just because one fucking guy drowns, the whole year doesn't mean shit.
Fuck.
And he's not even a lifeguard. And it is funny that, like, I don't know.
What was he doing there then?
He snuck in.
So
he's probably the dealer.
Well, no.
He's probably the plug for the lifeguard part.
So what I think is, like, this is a rec center, so it's probably a big room that's got a pool, and they're having a party over here, and then this guy, like, falls in or something, and nobody notices. It's kind of what it seems like.
An indoor pool. Very fancy.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's kind of sad you died in an indoor pool and stuff. Like, let's explain your death at the funeral. It's like, oh, how did he die? It's like, oh, he died around safety. That's how.
Yeah. I don't know. You ever like be in an indoor pool at a hotel and you're like the only person there and you're like, is this what people do before they kill themselves in their hotel room? They just take like a lap in an indoor pool and they're like, yep, it's time to die.
Yeah, they're just watching Kitchen Nightmares on the side of the pool.
You go upstairs, you put on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and you blow your brains out.
No, you do it in the pool. You do
it in the pool?
Yeah,
why traumatize the children?
Fuck them kids.
Well, geez.
No,
do you really want to be an inconvenience when you kill yourself?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I worry about that stuff. I want to be like, I don't want to be someone else's problem.
So this one's from Lebanon, Ohio. In June 1871, former Congressman Clement Vallandigham,
Shit.
Good Lord.
what a name, was working as an attorney in the town of Lebanon. His client, Thomas McGeehan, was accused of killing a man named Tom Myers during a saloon brawl, and it was Vallandigham's
What year
job.
was this?
1871.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And it was his job to prove that McGeehan was not at fault for Myers' death. So Vallandigham, I don't know how to say it, argued that
Vallandigham.
Vallandigham argued that McGeehan had not actually shot Myers, but rather that Myers had accidentally shot himself while drawing his own pistol. So
in the leg?
No, he killed him. He died. And so they were like, oh, he didn't actually get shot. He shot himself. And they had two pistols. So he was going to try to prove that. And so he, in the process, to demonstrate how Myers might have accidentally shot himself, Vallandigham grabbed a pistol on the table, placed it in his pocket, drew it back out, and pointed it at his abdomen and said, "There, that's the way Myers held it." That's when his finger fell on the trigger. There was a flash, and he cried out, "My God, I've shot myself!"
He got to exposition his own death.
Everything back then was like fucking Laurel and Hardy. Then he slipped on a banana peel.
Yes, yeah, it's great because that's one of those where like there was so nothing to do in 1871. This would have been
kill each other in the street.
This would have been front page news everywhere. Like local moron,
local buffoon.
This is like you were bringing a fucking loaded gun into a courthouse. And no one was like saying shit. Well, they're just like, yeah, go, just whatever, just go for it.
And I challenge you, Vallandigham.
Yeah. They had a little more context where he, like, some of his friends were like, you should probably take the bullet out. He's like, I know which pistol it is. Like, he was such a dick about it before he did it too. But
this is just gun safety, not irony.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, this is the 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife, I think. But
when dads were teaching their kids how to use guns, like, and you got to know how to spin it too.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's a big part of it, spinning it.
It's definitely one of those situations.
If the gun doesn't go, you're doing it wrong.
If you can't shoot your name in the side of a tree, then you don't know how to shoot, son.
Yeah, if you can't shoot an outline of your body and then go through it on a motorcycle in the side of a barn, like
this is
Indiana
gun safety
Jones.
we're talking about.
Yeah. So for the next few hours, a string of people attempted to help Vallandigham, but he died, and his client was ultimately found not guilty of killing Myers.
All
right.
That's how a lawyer gets paid.
Yeah. He got him off.
Got him off, and his estate now owes him money. Perfect.
I love that one. And I also like, again, there's nothing to do at this point. So people are just like, that's the funniest thing that's ever happened, and that's how it made it down through the ages to us.
Say we live in this time period. You're not going to watch a duel in the middle of the streets?
I would watch it.
I would watch it.
I've been trying to Google to see if duels are still legal, and people say no, but I'm thinking, well, based on the way things are going.
Yeah. Oh, it'll come back.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have legal dueling before we have healthcare.
When it turns into Road Warrior again.
Yeah, I've said for years cocaine will be legal before free healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
dueling will be right after that.
Duels are coming back big. And stuff.
It'll be cocaine, dueling, then maybe healthcare. Yeah. No, this also just reminds me of, my favorite genre of, say what you will about Twitter. It is the one place where you can see people shooting themselves for real still. And anytime it's the one where the cop is giving the gun demonstration and shoots himself in the leg.
Yep.
Oh,
The
fantastic.
gun safety expert.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the best. Yeah. And
Good
he's
stuff.
just trying to fucking no sell it too. And you're like, buddy, you just shot
Yeah,
yourself
you need to go to the
directly in the
hospital.
leg. You got to get out of here.
X, you mean?
Oh, yeah. X, the everything app. Ding. This one's from Lincoln, Nebraska. In 2004, University of Nebraska Lincoln senior Derek Keeper published an editorial in the Daily Nebraskan titled Individual Rights Buckle Under Seatbelt Laws. Oh no. Libertarian guy. In the article,
He's a keeper.
Keeper wrote, I'm from the school of thought where everyone should have the right to do as they please as long as they're not infringing on the rights of other people. No law or set of laws has made the government more intrusive and ridiculous than seatbelt legislation. I love anybody whose life, that's the hardest part of their life, is the government's opinion on whether or not you should wear a seatbelt.
No, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's a funny a news video from when they made drinking and driving illegal, and people are just like,
Communist China.
I
Oh, yeah.
cannot fucking believe
Yeah,
the
it's
government's telling me I can't have a beer in my car.
My favorite is the guy, he goes,
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
I need something to forget.
Wait a minute. Drinking's legal.
yeah.
Driving's legal. Why can't I do both?
How am I supposed to forget the clanging and the Vietnam?
Then when I go home, the clanging continues.
And then the Viet Cong shooting at me when I close my eyes.
2 simple Bud Lights can cure that for a few minutes.
And then followed by 22 more.
22 more.
When
I get a head start on my drive home.
When I get home, I drink the subsequent 22.
As I live 40 minutes away from my home.
I need... Oh, fuck. Keeper's argument was that Democrats and Republicans should, quote, stand together to stop seatbelts. And he argued that the seatbelt laws could become a slippery slope that might lead to things like helmet laws for walkers.
I mean,
And they might start marrying dogs if you let gay people get married.
Say, where does it end?
In 2005, the Lincoln Star-Journal reported that the 21-year-old was ejected from a Ford Explorer
Who could have seen this one coming?
that rolled several times into a ditch after veering off the road due to ice.
Did he live?
The driver and another passenger survived with non-life-threatening injuries. Yeah, he died because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
He was a real G.
Yeah,
It's his belief till
it's
the
true.
very end.
That's
So,
the thing. Yeah, I love that he wasn't just.
Well, it's also
It's
like
a moral victory.
yeah, he's ejecting it like he talked it. Yeah.
someone who's vehemently against seatbelts also is not like a safe driver. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
I can balance the can on my knee while I drive. I don't have to touch it.
It's like someone who's like, dude, condoms take away all the feeling, dude. You can ask each one of my 12 kids. I hate condoms.
That's always my favorite is when, because now they annoy you into safety. So if you're not buckled up, you go like ding, 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 ding. And now people will buckle it just behind their backs and just like sit on it. I'm like, that's so much more uncomfortable just having a thing sticking to the
I'm
side
not
of your
held
side.
back.
I've
tyranny.
never seen anyone be able to justify it other than the only reason I know is that a guy I used to know would do it is because he was too fat, but he didn't want to admit that
Yeah,
was the
that's-
reason.
okay.
So he would make up some crazy lie. But the thing is, he could have still worn the seatbelt.
Yeah.
It was a comfort thing.
Anytime someone in the passenger seat is not putting the seatbelt on, I can't stop being like, you should put that noise is going to keep going unless you put on the seatbelt.
Yeah,
You know the noise is
yeah.
going to keep going unless you put your seatbelt on.
Don't worry. I caught up the piece and you can just stick it in there.
This one's from Spotsylvania Courthouse, Virginia. So Union General John Sedgwick Sedgwick was wounded several times during the Civil War. From the 7 Days battle, for instance, he sustained injuries to his arm and more injuries to his leg at Glendale. And at the Battle of Antietam, he was shot 3 times, once in the wrist, once in the leg, and once in the shoulder. But just 90 days later, he reported back for duty. So this is a fucking hard ass, man. He's full of bullets, but he still wants to fight.
There's still a war to fight, yes?
That's right. Onward, boys. What did Trump say? Onward, me boys. Onward.
Look upward, me boys.
He's Irish for some reason. Follow the rainbow.
Fucking idiot, yeah. John Wayne said that. He said, look upward, me boys, or something.
Sedgwick was, if nothing else, a confident man, and this confidence ultimately led to his downfall. On May 8th, 1864, when General Ulysses Grant sent forces to Spotsylvania County to meet Robert E. Lee's army on the battlefield, Sedgwick led his men to Spotsylvania Courthouse, bringing the total of Union soldiers to 100,000.
So he was a Union soldier?
He's a Union general, yeah.
Okay.
So he's coming to back up Grant as he fights Lee for the first time on the Eastern Front.
So he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely a good guy, but he's just full of lead and crazy.
Yeah.
He's just like, bring it on. I can't die, essentially. And
So, how many times did he get shot?
let's see. So he got shot once in Antietam. He got shot once at the 7 Days and got shot 3 times at Antietam. So he now has 5 bullets either in him or that at some point went through him.
Oh, that makes 50 Cent more impressive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, does he have a platinum album also? Does he have his own video game? Because 50 Cent does.
So he shows up. Now there's 100,000 troops about to fight Robert E. Lee. The next evening, he was inspecting his line and directing artillery placements. Meanwhile, Confederate sharpshooters were firing rounds from barely 3,000 feet away. Naturally, the Union soldiers, facing the onslaught of bullets, were ducking for cover. But Sedgwick did not approve of this. So literally, it's like ping, ping, like bullets are going around. And he said, what? Men dodging this way for single bullets? What will you do when they open fire along the whole line? And to set his men's mind at ease, Sedgwick said, why, they couldn't hit an elephant at this distance. And at that moment, a bullet entered his left eye, and he dropped dead immediately. So I just love the
hubris.
The reporter being like, so what were his last words again? Oh,
And I bet the thing was,
Hey, we're over here.
yeah.
and the thing was, the guy who hit him in the head, he was not on mark.
No.
He completely missed where he
No.
was trying to shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
This is-
they couldn't hit an elephant, but they could randomly shoot you in the fucking head.
It's like how the guy from Hamas got killed. Like, they were just like, oh, sick.
yeah. Oh, geez, his head exploded. Jesus, that's kind of crazy. Isn't that crazy, guys? This one I love. This is so what is today Honolulu. John Kendrick was an adventurer through and through. He began sailing with his father at just 14 years old. And by the age of 20, he was a well-respected sailor in the booming whale industry of the mid-1700s in Massachusetts. Okay. So we're talking, Moby Dick times here. When he was 22, Kendrick served in the French and Indian War, but the revolutionary spirit soon took hold of him. And 10 years later, Kendrick was one of the Sons of Liberty who dumped British tea into Boston Harbor.
So he's a criminal.
He's a criminal, and he's a Coachella girl, because, they did it dressed as Native Americans. Did you know that?
Wow.
Yeah, they're fucking culturally appropriating Coachella girls doing the Boston Tea Party, you guys. That's the worst thing they did. Yeah. So 10 years later, he was one of the people who dumped the tea into the harbor. Kendrick commanded several ships during the American Revolution before returning home in 1778, a full-fledged war hero. And after the war, he returned to his life on the New England coast, working in the whaling and shipping businesses. And with various new trade routes opening between the West and the East, he put his naval skills to use and made numerous journeys across the sea to trade goods in Asia. And after a 14-month stay in Macau that ended in 1794, he docked in what is today Honolulu, just in time to help a local tribe fend off an attempted invasion from a rival tribe. So he just shows up and is like, oh, there's a fight? Fuck yeah, let's do it.
I'm in.
Yeah. So the next morning, to celebrate the victory, and they won, by the way, Kendrick ordered his men to fire a 13-gun salute.
And I feel like this is where things go. All right.
Hubris, pride goeth. A British ship called the Jackal that had assisted his men in battle returned the salute with a cannon volley, but unfortunately nobody bothered to check and see if the cannons were actually loaded. And Kendrick's Lady Washington was struck with a tremendous amount of grape shot when the weapons fired, and he was killed as he ate breakfast in his cabin as a result of the salute that he himself ordered.
No, not like this.
Let's hear it for me one time, fellas. 13 guns at dawn. I'm going to be over here eating eggs. Oh, no.
Man,
And the tribe people are probably like, damn, these motherfuckers are stupid as fuck.
the sheer volume of like pride,
Hubris.
like hubris influenced like lack of safety precautions in that time period.
Oh, yeah.
People must have been just dropping like flies. Like, I mean, people have always been stupid and prideful, but like
That one's amazing. Just dying in your own celebratory parade, basically.
And not by a gun, by a cannon.
Yeah, by a
Yeah.
fucking cannon. Shooting
Cannon's
grape shot,
wild.
too. Not even a single cannonball. We're
while you're
talking
eating grapefruit.
Yeah, eating grapefruit, getting shot with grape shot. Terrible. Yeah, this last one, this is from Toronto in Canada. This is one of those where I read this, I'm like, there but for the grace. There but for the grace of God go I. If I was a young man, my God, this is so how I would have died. And this guy's name is Gary Hoy. Gary is spelled with 2 R's. I'm Gary Hoy.
Like Gary Marshall.
Marshall.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Gary Hoy was a successful and respected corporate and securities attorney at the Toronto-based law firm Holden Day Wilson. He was even described by managing partner Peter Lawers as, quote, one of the best and brightest lawyers at the firm. Gary Hoy was also highly impressed with the strength of the windows at the Toronto Dominion Bank Tower where his office was located. I don't know how you...
Now I'm gonna say there's some stress tests involved on these windows.
I don't know how you
Look at these
get...
things. You can't break them.
I think I know where this one is.
Everyone knows where this is going, but like, how do you get upset as an adult? Presumably, this person isn't 12.
Can you imagine being in his office and be like, yeah, they seem pretty strong. Anyways, you want to talk about that meeting? Or no, look at these things. I'm telling you, you can't break them.
So on July 9th, 1993, Hoy decided to show off the window strength for a group of law students who were interested in apprenticing at the firm.
He's got youngins there, so he's really got to show
He's
out.
got a crowd.
Hey, kids, bet you never seen a window before.
It's crazy.
You ever seen a gun before?
You like to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Sure, kid. So Hoy actually had a favorite party trick, one that he had performed
this is the one I know.
many times before, which was to throw himself at the window to prove they wouldn't break. And in fact, he had already performed this trick earlier in the morning. So now this is the second group of interns.
Oh, God, no.
So yeah,
This is some baseball bat Cybertruck shit.
this is the late show on Friday. This is the second show. And just as he had every other time, he ran and bounced off the glass and lauded at the window's strength. But unfortunately, during the second performance, he ran full force at the window, and the glass stayed intact, but it popped out of its frame, sending Hoy falling to his death 24 floors below.
No.
So-
I don't know why, but this character, this Gary guy, he feels like he has George Costanza energy. Like,
Yeah.
he overestimated himself at the very end. There's a laugh track, and it's like,
Yeah. No, I say that.
Every other time it worked, Jerry. Every other time. And then that one time it didn't.
Yeah. I died. I fell.
People loved it. They loved it, Jerry. They loved it.
240 feet, Jerry.
I remember this
Why
from that
would
show,
you?
1,000 Ways to Die.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, yeah.
fantastic.
it was a thousand ways.
Yeah, 1,000 Ways to Die.
I just want to know how he became fascinated by the window.
Well,
like,
In A Thousand Ways to Die, they kind of casted a John Favreau looking guy to
Yep.
play him. And
Sure.
So I feel with that, they were like, okay, you can do what you got to do now. So
yeah, he's fat and stupid looking. He'd do that.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I'd be right in that casting call, buddy.
I just feel like this is a guy who probably talked to the person who built the building at some point. He was like, dude, yeah, they're basically bulletproof. And then that one seed got in his mind, and then he kind of did one where he bounced off the back. And everything was cool, and then he went a little faster, and it was cool. And then he was like, I'm bulletproof here, baby.
Some shit, yeah.
Yeah, had to be.
They don't give you offices like this downstairs.
Yeah. I say this easily could have been me because when I was in 7th grade in band class, I was doing this thing where the music stand is here and I was letting it fall down and then pushing it up with my foot and like hitting myself on the forehead because it made this loud sound. And so I'd be like, hey, what's going on, guys? Bang. And then, it didn't hurt. And then on the last time, it came up, turned sideways and hit me directly in the lip. And I had to get like 8 stitches in my lip. Like it almost cut my lip in half. So
There's someone telling that story right now, and they're like, yeah, I think he's in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Oh, he had brain damage for sure. Yeah. So it just went from like, me like right, to like, oh fuck. So anyway, there's still a scar underneath the mustache, folks. It's still there.
Well, dude, there was a guy in college. He was like, he's he's being very stupid, and he was like chunking a brick onto this gravel driveway.
Yeah,
and he's just like, I'm drunk, and it popped up and got him in the fucking in the lip.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good day.
Yeah, that's one where it's like, yeah, he was like shit faced with this guy and with me. It was just, this was purely for comedy purposes.
Yeah.
And it was just, you didn't think about how dumb you were being at the time. But yeah. Oh man, yeah. So shout out to Canada. That's fantastic.